Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Carter James Ranch. It is getting to be late January here, and we just got done unrolling a bale of brome hay for the herd. We have, it's been a while since I posted a video. I'm not sure if I had talked about how we combined the South Pole herd and the Wagu herd just since we got all the bulls pulled out. So this makes management a little bit easier here for the, for the next 4 or 5 months before we separate them in June again, for end of June for breeding season. But as you can see, we have got some snow just like the rest of the country. It's been a rough couple of weeks here with weather. Started actually 3 weeks ago today with an ice storm, and then 8 to 10 inches of snow, and then just frigid Arctic cold temperatures. So finally we're starting to get up into the 40s yesterday and today, so some of this is starting to melt, so that's good. So I thought I'd walk through and show you the herd and talk about some things that are going on here in 2025. This calf, 012, I love how she looks. She's actually out of our Comanche bull, our white-faced Comanche bull, so she's not real shaggy. I've noticed a lot of Comanche's calves stay pretty slick. I mean, her hair is thicker than it was this summer when she was born, but pretty slick for the winter time. Overall, the herd's doing well. We've had a pretty busy January here with the Arkansas herd that we picked up in September. There were 8 cows that were scheduled to calve in January and February, and I severely underestimated how stressful that would be. Typically we can have real nice weather days like we're going to have this week. We're going to be up in the 50s, but the last 3 weeks have been really rough, and we had a lot of those calves. A couple of them came on great days. 2 of them came on a -7-degree evening. We gave them access to the stable. One calf survived and did great. The other calf, the heifer, actually had a hard time calving, and we lost that calf. So it was a busy week and a half there as animals were showing that they were going to be calving, and getting up and checking them multiple times overnight. And just this heifer, she started calving, and the calf did not come out properly. One of its legs was bent back, and by the time I got there, the calf was already dead. So now it became a recovery issue. So anyhow, the joys of ranching. But definitely, just for Kansas, it just confirmed why I will never want animals to be calving in the wintertime. I just don't want that added pressure of the weather. So, but overall, the herd is doing real well. The biggest frustration of the last 3 weeks has just been dealing with moving the animals or not moving them, and getting hay, and dealing with snow and ice, and just the joys that come along with that. There's lots of fun that happens with all this stuff, a lot of beauty, but the reality here too is, since we've scaled the herd up, it's just a lot more difficult to feed this many animals, especially when the weather is not cooperating. We did pen them up during the ice storm in the corral, which was great. Set out a bunch of bales for that, and that worked out really well. But now we're getting them back out on the pasture. This is actually one of our newest calves right here. I'd pulled actually all the mamas that were going to calve back to the Carter James over in Paola, but we left this mama here. She was supposed to calve in December, but she calved in early January. So this little bull calf, he's doing great. He's been healthy the whole time, so that's really good. But so one thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is the whole purpose of this YouTube channel over the last 2.5 years has been the building of the ranch and getting into it, not coming from a ranching family, kind of starting from the ground up with no cattle and no sheep and no anything. And over the last 2 years, we've been aggressively trying to buy and retain our heifers and grow the ranch. This gal right here, really love this heifer. She is one of 2 calves that we've not tagged yet. Her mom is a little protective, but yeah, she's just put together like a Mack truck. So, but the channel was all about growing the ranch, and the reality is now the ranch is built. We have grown the cattle herd to where it's going to be sustainable now for maybe holding back some heifers. But the biggest thing this year is going to be, we're going to start selling animals. We've been growing the meat business. We have a lot of steers in the program now. In 2025, at the end of the year and into 2026, we're going to be having 17 animals to process. We've already started pre-selling some of that meat. We'll also be selling by the cut. But the biggest thing too is selling, you know, bulls and selling heifers as they go. So we're probably going to sell the majority of the 2025 crop. So probably going to sell all of them private treaty. At some point we may put together you know, kind of an auction type sale, but for now I think we're just going to sell them private treaty right off the farm. So we're right outside of Kansas City, so if you're looking for some South Poles or Wagu, we're going to sell some Wagu as well this year. It's going to be kind of a fun year, as that's the next phase of the business now that we've built the herd up. So, but winter time here in Kansas, it is in the 6 years we've been here in Kansas, this is the most snow we've ever gotten, and it's the longest time that it's hung around. So, but next week we're going to be 4 straight days up in the upper 40s and even into the 50s. So we will crank through all of this. So could force them to graze a little bit, but we are unrolling some hay just to make sure everyone's getting enough. One thing I have realized when we're unrolling hay, some days, depending on my schedule, I might unroll 2 or 3 bales at a time. If I've got more time, I will separate out when I unroll the bales, just to make sure that they are cleaning it up. It usually takes them, an unrolled bale, it usually takes this herd about an hour to clean it up if they're eating it aggressively. So, but even in the wintertime here, we are giving them pretty big areas here. We don't lock them down like we do during the growing season, so we give them a pretty big area, but they tend to stay around where the water is and where the hay is. So this is one of our little Wagu calves right here that was born in the fall. So everyone seems to be in pretty good condition. Got a little bit of we got some lice issues here and there on a handful of animals. This is a heifer. This is a purebred heifer. You can tell she's a little leggy for a South Pole, but I really like her mom. Actually, that 012 calf I started the video with, that's her sister. So really like how they slick off. They're good quality animals. One thing I've realized is there's you hear a lot of people talk about, well, there's not much difference between a full blood and a purebred and a percentage animal, which can be true and that cannot be true. It just all depends on genetics of the animal. I've got some purebreds and some percentage animals that I actually like better than some of my full bloods that I've gotten from some pretty large breeders. So I've got a little bit of a power struggle there, but yeah, the calves are all doing well. It's doing good. Our next biggest project, we'll probably do a video on it. We still have, let's see, I think we've got 12 heifers that are scheduled to calve, this being one of them. I need to get this animal preg checked. She was a 2023 calf, so should be looking to calve here in 2025. So we can get them preg checked, and if they are pregnant, we need to bring them back to the Carter James just so we can keep an eye on them. You know what I've noticed is I think a lot of these animals have kind of gotten their eyes poked in hay or whatever, because they are, yeah, she got her eye poked, her left eye there. So I've noticed, I've been walking through, there's 2 or 3 animals like that. So their eyes will be like that for 2 or 3 days, and then they'll get over it. So anyhow, that's what's been going on the ranch. So I think the channel is going to be changing a little bit. Not so much growth of the ranch, given we're kind of, there's not going to be any huge additions, but now we're going to be moving into the business of ranching. So selling animals and continuing to build the meat business. I am really excited about the farm to table aspect of this. The reality of it is you have to produce a lot of food to stay viable in this, to be consistent, to consistently provide. And we've been really grinding here for the last couple years, trying to get all this set up, and hopefully 2025 is the year to really start cranking that out. So if you're interested in some South Pole heifers, if you're needing some South Pole bulls, reach out, follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Instagram. You can also comment on the YouTube channel here, or give us a call, carterjamesranch.com. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well where you are, staying warm, and we'll catch you on the next video.